Welcome to your Wealthy Warm-Up Workshop. This is a part of the Your Wealthy Year process, which I'm super excited for you to experience today. So today is a workshop. We're going to do the work, okay? In order for my system to work for you, you've got to do the work. And this is like your mama bear coming out of like, I'm going to always do my part, but I also need you to do your part for this all to work and work as quickly as possible and feel amazing. So I'm going to do my part. I'm going to trust that you're going to do your part and keep doing your part because together we're partners, right? Like if you buy a ticket to the Taylor Swift concert, she's not banging down your door to be like, are you coming? Are you coming to my concert? What are you wearing? Like, although that would be pretty cool, she's expecting you to be there, right? You bought a ticket to the concert and that's your responsibility. And her responsibility is to make it the best show ever, that you create the best experience, you have the best time, right? But like no one's knocking down your door to make sure you're at the concert. You've got to do your part. And I feel like some of that has been lost in the personal development space. Not always, but I feel like it's been lost a little bit of where people will point and blame a coach, a mentor, a book, a conference of not doing what it needed to do. And more likely than not, that's not true, right? Like you've got to open up yourself. You've got to do the work for anything to work. It's like health and fitness, right? Like most health and fitness programs, diets, what have you, supplements, they work when we use them, right? Like I drink a daily green shot and I don't miss a day and it's changed my whole life. But if I bought it and didn't drink it, it wouldn't change my life, right? Like you got to drink the Kool-Aid for the Kool-Aid to work. And so that goes for personal development. That goes for, doing the marketing, doing the personal growth, like whatever we're working on, like we've got to do the work. And most importantly, we get to make the work fun. When you can make it fun, not later, not when you make gobs and gobs of money, not when you become your hottest, sexiest self, but like now. It has to be fun and enjoyable now and keep becoming more fun and more enjoyable no matter where you're at. This is key because it'll keep anchoring it into your body and your brain of this actually feels good. It can be as like silly as doing laundry. When laundry actually feels good, you'll be more inclined to do it in the future. Tell me your most number one dreadful task, because today is all about task management in this wealthy workshop. So like, tell me your most dreaded task. It could be for your home, your business, yourself. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so right out of the gates, we're going to look at this as low hanging fruit. If this is your most dreadful task, it's getting a lot of your energy before you even do it, right? If there's already a lot of blah energy around it, all of these things are things that have to get done, right? Doing our taxes has to get done or you go to jail. Like, right? Like, yes, sure, your dishes aren't as dramatic as that, but eventually the dishes are going to stop, like pile up and they're going to start stinking, right? Like, so it's not as extreme as going to jail, but like, we're going to need some clean dishes, right? Accounting or closet organization, right? So like all of these things, in order for you to fully be your wealthiest, most powerful self, they have to get done. It's a non-negotiable. So we might as well make these things more enjoyable. So the first thing I want to teach you with that low-hanging fruit of the low energy is we want to get it up. You're only as strong as your weakest player on your team. So for all the things on your list and in your mind that drain you, that drag you down, when we can actually make those more fun, literally today, your energy is going to skyrocket. Okay? So we want to brainstorm how we can put good energy around this. What protocol can we create? Okay? So I'm going to take somebody's example. Or one of them for an example. So the dishes. Okay? So there's a couple different things we can do. So whatever it may be, you guys can fill in the blank with what you picked as that low energy, the thing that you're dreading that drains you. So for doing the dishes, we could literally blast music. You could put on your favorite movie, your favorite show. You could put in a podcast on your AirPods. You could call somebody. Maybe there's a cue of every time you do your dishes, you call your best friend or you call your significant other. And we're making it more enjoyable as you're doing the dishes. We could even make it a fun game of you like put up a timer to see how fast you can get it done. You have more power than you're giving yourself credit for in these draining tasks. Masculine energy will tell you just shut up and do it. Feminine energy will say, how can I make this feel so good, so pleasurable that it could be annoying to somebody that this is actually so enjoyable, right? So that's what we could do for the dishes, okay? To make doing Facebook Lives more enjoyable. So it depends on how you're currently feeling about Facebook Lives. But for me, if I put on a cute outfit, it makes it more enjoyable. If I can be in my car where I have all of this natural lighting, it actually makes it more enjoyable for me. If I can have a coffee that I'm holding, right? And I'm just like talking on Facebook Live with a coffee, that makes it more enjoyable for me. If I can wear something fun, like maybe I used to wear a lot of wigs, or I could dress up in a costume, right? Like you don't have to do anything that's not authentic to you, but when we can brainstorm and create some protocols of how to make things more exciting, more fun, more inviting, more enjoyable, you'll do them more. Now, the first time that we do it, you're going to still have some resistance, okay? Because your brain for the longest time has been told, we don't like doing the dishes. We don't like going on Facebook Live. We don't like, cleaning the house. So you'll still have some resistance, but that will fade the more you lean into the fun, the more you lean into the pleasure. And eventually you'll just naturally do these things where you're like, oh, I'm washing the dishes. I'm going to go call my best friend. It's like your brain will get the cue, right? Like typically when you have bad breath, we brush our teeth. It's a cue, right? Or maybe you're like, you smell your armpit and you're like, I really need a shower, right? So that's a cue. We can manufacture cues that aren't as like apparent, but we can manufacture them by doing them more. So we do the dishes, we always call the best friend. Maybe when you're responding back to messages, you get on your walking pad and you walk, right? So there's something I call double dipping. How can we double dip and engineer you to actually have more hours in your day and to make it all feel so enjoyable? Okay. So as I'm on a team meeting with my team, I can be on the walking pad. So not only am I pouring into my team, I'm getting steps, right? As I'm doing the dishes, I can listen to personal development. This is how you manipulate time, right? Like this is how you actually add more time into your day, is seeing how you can really leverage from the time that you wake up to the time you go to bed. I also do at night, I do money sleep hypnosis. If you've never heard of this before, type into YouTube money sleep hypnosis. If you have a partner, you'll probably want to put like one AirPod in or like one earbud in, but it will rewire your brain while you sleep. Most busy moms and busy women don't have time to sit down and do a meditation. It is quite hysterical when I try to do a meditation during the day. Like, but can I do a money hypnosis while I'm sleeping? Yes. And your brain is actually way more powerful when you're sleeping, right? Because it's like all seeping into the subconscious, which is actually what we need anyways. When people are listening to audiobooks and they're like, I don't want to listen to audiobooks because I'm worried I'm not going to hear everything. Your brain is hearing it even if you're not hearing it. Okay. So you listening to even an audiobook when you're sleeping, I swear to you, will help you. It's huge. So if you want a money podcast or a money book or anything, like your subconscious is running 90% of your day, which is then creating your life, right? We're the sum of all of the decisions that we're making, but so many of those decisions are subconscious. So really during Wealthy Year, our biggest focus is working on your subconscious. Okay. This is when we're not doing this type of work, this is where people get frustrated because they are like, I stop and start, right? Like I make progress, but then I self-sabotage. Drop a me in the chat if you're like, oh, I've had that behavior of like, oh my gosh, I'm getting the thing done. I'm like, I'm on fire. This is amazing. And then one little hiccup happens or one challenge happens, or maybe you even create a challenge, right? And you don't even fully know it. We're all human. There's no judgment. I have seen this pattern in myself. And this is what's so powerful about this type of work is your heart is already on board. It's your brain that we have to do some of the heavy lifting for. Your heart has already been on board. That's why you say yes to things like this. That's why you dream big dreams. That's why you buy the office supplies, right? Like you do the things to get started, but it's the finishing that is so hard for people because of our subconscious. Drop your age in the chat, like how old you are, if you care to share. Drop your age in the chat. 50, 40, 46, 44, 33, 30, 32. Okay, so however old you are, we have basically this giant file folder of all your beliefs, okay? Of all of the decisions that you've made, all of your experiences up to this point. There's tons of good ones, and there's a lot of not so nice ones, right? And so that operating system is walking around with you every single day. Imagine if we all still had box cell phones, right? Like imagine us all walking around with box cell phones, but then there being like 2% of the world has like the current, iPhone, right? And you'd be like, what is that? Right? Like imagine a world filled with box cell phones, but then a handful of people have whatever this is, right? And so what's so powerful about this is our current self is trying to be the latest iPhone, okay? But you're walking around with a box phone. Your box phone can't text people. Your box phone can't get on the internet. And so we've got to upgrade you, AKA your subconscious, for that hockey stick effect to happen. That's the missing piece. You're already so capable of big ass dreams, big ass goals. You are. Whatever you've stopped and started, you're capable of those things. But we have an operating system for however many years you are right now. That's how many file folders, if you will, that we have of certain beliefs, certain experiences, certain energies. And some is working for you, and there's some that are working against you. So in the hockey stick effect, why I get so sad when people quit so quickly is because this does take a little bit of time. If we're working on rewiring everything and adjusting and getting you comfortable and regulated around this new you, right? You just met you, right? You just met your wealthiest self. It's kind of like when you go on a date with somebody, most people don't get married on the first, second, or third date. Most. Sometimes there's that like unicorn story, which we love, but most people, like, they've got to keep dating. And eventually they move in together, and eventually maybe they have kids and they like live their best life. But just like a hockey stick effect, it takes time. Some people date for years and then they get married. Some are like dating for months and they're like, I know that it's you, right? So everyone's timeline is different. However, all of it does take time to build that strong foundation. With that being said, you can create huge things in the process of you doing that. But it's important to get your mind on board that like you're not going anywhere. Like I've made it very, very clear to everyone in Your Wealthy Year, you're marrying the program for a year. Like money or not, it's not about the money. It's you committing to you. Like, because when you're at the altar and you're saying your vows to somebody, you are making it a commitment. Now, sometimes that doesn't always work out. So what I'm asking is you give it a year. Like you're marrying the program for a year. And really, it's not even the program. It's you're committing to your wealthiest self for the whole year, because there are going to be moments where you want to quit. And I don't even want us to have to even entertain the idea. It's like, I want to quit, but I know I can't. Like, I'm in it, right? I've got to see this through, because your brain needs to see that. Yesterday, there were moments where I didn't want to quit, but I was like, I'm tired, right? And tiredness is typically a cue to our brain to stop what we're doing. So it's that mental strength that is so key, that then I just would laugh because I'm like, there's no way I can quit now. I've already gone too far. My car is across town, so I'd have to walk there, right? So I might as well just keep taking the path that I'm on to get to my car. So what if quitting just wasn't an option? If you have children, there's days where we don't love being a parent, but do we go, you know what, I'm going to quit on you? No, we're like, I don't like you right now. You may not say that to your child, but like we have our moments where like, this is hard, but we never entertain the idea of walking away from them because we made literally an emotional commitment to support them. We get to give that same love to ourselves. So like, what if we just like, can we save time and energy and just all agree? Like quitting is not an option. We can take breaks. We can adjust. We can shift. We can ask for help. But what if just quitting was not even on the table? You would actually probably save so much time and energy. Like I've noticed where I gave up too quickly in my past, and I'm like, why? Right? Like expect hurdles, expect hiccups, expect obstacles, expect everyone not being on board with you, right? Everyone's on their own journey, even your partner, even your loved ones, even your clients, your customers, everyone's on their own journey, but you get to focus on your journey. Like this is time for you to be selfish and create the life that you desire, that you're so in love with yourself, you're so in love with your life that it's annoying. Like, what if you had the life and you were the woman that everyone's just like, how do you do it? Right? Like, and you're like, I just love myself and I want you to love yourself, right? There's plenty of that to go around. Love is infinite. Love is infinite. So let's give more of it to ourselves, because it's so inspiring for other people, especially if you have kids. Like, I kept FaceTiming Emma yesterday because I want her to see what it's like to go towards a big dream. I want that to be her normal. Like, yeah, my mom goes for big goals and dreams, so I can, right? Like anyone around us that we love, they get so much more inspiration by our actions versus our words. It's easy to say things. It's easy to say, I'm going to do this and put that on your to-do list. It's a whole nother ball game to like actually follow through with it. And so that goes for our container. If it was just normal where everyone was like becoming the best version of themselves, like we feed into all of that with each other, which is why Your Wealthy Year is really important to me, because it's creating this immersive experience that you actually get to meet your wealthiest self, and you get to regulate around that, and you just get to fall madly in love with that human, that it just feels so normal. As if you're brushing your teeth, as if you're spending $5, as if you're, cleaning up your house or whatever it may be. Things that feel normal in our day-to-day currently are because of you eventually had to make them normal. You didn't know how to brush your teeth at one point. You didn't know how to clean a house. You didn't know how to drive, right? Like things that feel so normal to our current identity, at one point they didn't. So that's the cool part about this process, is we can do the same thing for you becoming your happiest, healthiest, wealthiest self. Okay. So drop in the chat how you are currently managing your tasks. Is it a paper to-do list? Is it a task software? Is it a bunch of Post-it notes? Is it a bunch of notebooks? Is it all in your head? Like, how are you managing all the things that you have to do reoccurring one time for your business, for your home, for yourself? There's no wrong answer here. I will never tell you you have to do a certain system. Okay. We are going to put some structure in place, but that can be applicable to any modality, right? If you love paper, I'm not going to tell you to go digital. If you love digital, I'm not going to tell you to go paper. I love a hybrid. I love digital with paper. It's been my most successful solution. Okay. So no matter the modality that you love for task management, our goal is to lean into what feels good for you and make it better. Okay. So today's workshop, that's what we're going to cover. Okay. Pen and paper, calendar, alerts, whiteboard, combo of digital and paper. Okay. So my first question to you in the workshop is this system working for you, and can it work for your wealthiest self? Like, is it working for you? And do you feel like it'll continue to work for your wealthiest self? So just drop yes or no in the chat. My best piece of advice is don't do what everyone else is doing. You know you best, okay? Do what works for you. So if you know you've got to have a bunch of alarms, even if people are like, oh my gosh, your alarms are so annoying. If it works for you, why would you stop doing it, right? If a giant whiteboard works for you, but like no one gets it, that's okay. It's not affecting them. It has to work for you. You've got to take power of your day-to-day for all of this to work. And that goes for task management. Okay. So I see a lot of yeses. I see some no's. I see some yes and no's. Okay. So for those that are either like a in between or a no, I want you to think about, what have you it. But if it's not fully working with you for you, we need to play around with it. So like if you're fully paper and it's not working, maybe we try a task management software. There's so many free ones out there. Okay. If you're completely digital and it's not working for you, maybe we try pen and paper, right? So there is some testing to do when something's not working, but just, it's the definition of insanity. If we're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and we're expecting a different result, then that's not setting you up for success. Okay. So play around with that. We're not going to cover that today. But through the process, we can find what works for you. What I need from you is, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. What I need from you is I need you to do 12 pieces of paper. I said 10 earlier when we were prepping, but I actually need 12. So can you get 12 pieces of paper for me? And just tell me when you're ready in the chat. They can be blank pieces of paper. They can be lined. But we will want separate sheets of paper. Okay. So tomorrow is our implementation session for everything I'm talking about today. So I'm going to be doing a lot of talking today, but then that will give you time to process. And then tomorrow I'm holding space for you to then apply what we're doing today. Okay. So we're not going to have a ton of work time today. What I have found to work best is I teach, then we end. It gives your brain time to process. Then I shift you in energy of doing. So you don't have to do a bunch today. So this is kind of like, it's your own like warm up, and then I get you in the game tomorrow. But obviously, like if you get off the call and you're like, I want to run, like, again, I'll never stop you, like run. But then just know tomorrow I'm holding space for you to apply. Okay. So everyone, all right, Jess is ready. Dana's ready. Tammy's ready. Yay. Okay. All right. So what I need from you is we're going to really think about your task lists in a different way. Okay. So we're going to take a holistic approach and we're going to go through this one by one by one. So the first one is your energy and your mindset. If you can just write my energy and my mindset at the top of your piece of paper. Okay. Okay. Write that. Everyone got that? So what we're wanting to do is on the left side, I want you to write down what you're already doing. Okay. What you're already doing that's working for your energy and your mindset. Okay. So what are you already doing? Because again, this is building evidence for you of what you're already doing that's working. That's working. Don't put anything down that's not working. Okay. And then on the right side, what do you need / want to do that you have a hunch would support you when it comes to your energy and your mindset? Okay. So let me give you an example. If we're not getting consistent sleep, and I say that with love, I'm a mom too. I know that there's like consistent sleep as much as you can. Okay. And we're like, I know an extra 1 to 2 hours a night would change the game for me. Then we put that on the need and want list. If you know getting more water in would support you, we're going to put that. Okay. Maybe you're already getting your 10,000 steps in a day. So write that on the left side. Okay. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of time. Again, we're not doing a ton of implementation, but I want to give you just like a minute to start that list. Okay. And then we'll move on to the next one. But these are great like homework prompts for you to think. And I have found, at least for my brain, when I unlock Pandora's box, I'll think of way more things, right? Like, so, don't feel like you have to have it all figured out right now. But we at least want to like start the process. Yes, Tammy.
As you're making a list and you're right. So like,
Yeah.
for example, 15-minute sprints are working incredibly for me. Do on the need to and want to across from that on the same line, am I picking something that would work better with specific to the 15-minute sprints, or can it be something completely different?
Yeah, I would say go where your mind goes. So like write all of it down. So if there's like maybe you have something during the 15-minute sprint that you want to do better, then yeah, like put that on there. Because they all go together for sure. Does that help?
Thank you. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions so far? Sometimes we're worried about like what we don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. However, I say this for all of us. If there's stuff Oh no. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. Welcome back. Back from our commercial break. I'm telling you, technology, anytime I am up leveling, it tries so hard to slow me down. Literally, I was starting the race yesterday and my Nike app completely locked me out. And I like to track my run because I don't know what mile marker I'm in. Like they don't have a bunch of things on the route. So I like seeing where I'm at. And right before the race, it like completely locked me out. The fireworks are going off and I'm like trying to like get back into my Nike app, but I wasn't like stressed about it. I was like, I'm figuring this out. So it's like, it's not that I expect technology to break down, but it doesn't. I used to let it really bother me, but I'm like, bring it on. Like, you're not going to stop me. I will call all of you if I have to. Like, I will do whatever it takes. So back from our commercial break. So my biggest thing, I want to make sure that you heard this. There are things that we don't know. There's things that I don't know. Okay. But we're not worried about those things yet. If there's things on our list that we're not currently doing, that we're not mastering, that we're not making better, then we're trying to skip ahead to something that we're not even probably ready for, right? So that's a lack mindset. Abundant mindset is, oh my gosh, I have so many things right in front of me that I can work on. Let me focus on what I do know right now in this moment, and let me get so good at these things. I've been wanting to take a daily green shot for so long, and I just kept talking myself out of it because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to taste bad. It's going to be so hard, right? And again, we don't do that anymore. That's not how we show up. We show up and we commit, okay? We figure out the how later. If I know something is going to benefit my wealthiest self, it's a yes. This is your year of yes. If we continue to make decisions from our current identity, we'll continue to create our current reality. And if you don't want your current reality to be your forever reality, even if it's good, trust me, I have a good life, but I want more. And so if I want more, I've got to move differently. I've got to make different decisions and build off what is working and let go of what is not working. And it sounds so matter of fact, doesn't it? It's just like, that sounds so simple, right? Like, do more of what's working, do the things that you know will benefit you, let go of the BS. That's where the subconscious is stopping you. Okay. These things are so matter of fact, which can make us so mad at ourselves if we're not careful, because we're like, you know, to get steps in, you know, to get water, and you know, sleep is good for you. But a lot of these things that we know work for us or will benefit us, and if we're not doing them, or we're not doing them more than we want to, or we're not doing them more than we know we should be doing, it is a form of delaying. It is a form of self-sabotage. It is a form of, I don't think I'm worthy of what's next, right? And we may not be saying it in that way, but subconsciously, if on every section that I'm doing today with you, if there's a lot of things that we're not doing that we know will benefit us, we are most likely protecting ourselves from the future because we're afraid of becoming our wealthiest self. There's fear around it, okay? Maybe you're afraid of keeping it. That used to be a big fear of mine. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get there and then it's all going to like crumble and fail. Like I'm going to fail and like I'm going to lose everything type of thing, right? So much more of this is mindset and energy than anything else. And so when in doubt, we go back to energy. I like to focus on energy versus mindset because your mind is more powerful than we even know. And so for us to consciously work with your mind, it's not the easiest thing. So when in doubt, go back to energy. Because when you can get your energy on board, your mind will actually, in a way, it's kind of like double dipping. In a way, your mind will get more on board without you having to force it, right? When you go to the grocery store and you're starving, don't you want to like buy everything in sight? Versus when you go to the grocery store and you're not hungry, right? You stick to the list, or maybe you even order online because you're like, I don't even want to go into a grocery store, right? And so you get a different result because of the protocol. because of the system. So you eating before you go into the grocery store is a system, is a protocol, because you know yourself so well. And you're like, if I don't eat when I go into the grocery store, I'm going to want everything bad for me. Or like, if you're like, I don't put the cookies in the kitchen because I'm going to want the cookies, right? And I don't want to have to see them and like turn them down. That's okay, right? I love putting our walking pad in our kitchen that is like together with our living room, because I'll walk on it more. If it's down in the basement where no one is, I'm not going to use it. We have a treadmill down there. It does not get used. So I love the walking pad because it's right in front of me. I see it, right? So a lot of the things on each list that we're not doing, there's tons of creative ways to make it so easy and so fun, okay, to make it just more enjoyable so that way we actually do it more. Okay, so that is sheet number 1. Again, you're just going to want to put these off to the side because we're not using a lot of time today. I will, the walking pad, I'll get you guys that link here in just a little bit. Especially if you want a pink walking pad. Someone sent me a message that they were sold out the other day, and she's like, please stop buying them. Sold out. I keep buying them for people. My dream is to do a walking challenge and give away a ridiculous amount of walking pads. And we all just have pink walking pads and we're just living our best life. So stay tuned for that. Okay, the next section is your appearance. So this is you, your actual physical self. Okay, so this is the outside. So energy and mindset is the inside, and your appearance is everything that the eye can see. Okay, so just like the last one, what are you already doing that is really working for you from an appearance standpoint, that is not on your energy and mindset list? And then what do you know that you need to do / want to do when it comes to your appearance? Okay, so for example, if you're like, I have not gotten my hair cut in forever, I need a haircut, that would go on the need / want list. If you're like, I love putting on makeup, but I'm not doing it that often, then put that on the need and want list. If you want a new wardrobe or at least a few new clothes, that would go on it. So this is like some people would argue this is the vain stuff, but it does make a difference. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you look good, and they are connected. So I don't see them as vain. Yeah, Dana, don't let the internet gods stop you from getting in here. You're meant to be here. We do need Wealthy Mama vinyl stickers, and I'm working on it. I see them on those walking pads. I see them on all of our cars. Yes, it's already in the works. I love that we're on the same page. Okay, so your appearance. So let me grab that walking pad while you guys are doing that list. Okay. Now, I also want to normalize that you don't have to wear a full suit and a full face of makeup to feel good. Okay. I have noticed that I don't love wearing jeans. I think it was Dana that asked me. She's like, do you always wear leggings? I'm like, yes, I pretty much do. I have like 2 pairs of jeans that I own. I stopped buying them because I'm like, I'm not wearing them. I don't buy a bunch of dresses. I've actually been able to save money because I'm buying things that I'm actually going to wear on a day-to-day basis. And then for like the Taylor Swift concert, I'm like, ooh, let me like put together a really dreamy outfit, but it's for something specific. So I've saved so much time and energy by just like leaning into like, what do I want to wear? And when I'm in athletic gear, I wear tennis shoes. And when I have tennis shoes on, I want to work out. Like I want to walk. I like it keeps me more active than if I'm in scratchy jeans and an uncomfortable like sweater and I'm like sweating my ass off and I'm like so uncomfortable, right? Like that I'm my own boss. I can wear what I want. Why would I not wear what I love to wear, right? So we get to like really define what CEO you would wear, and it will change based on your environment, but like let's wear what you actually want to wear. Okay, let me get the pink walking pad link. It's on sale right now too, which is nice. Okay. Okay. Hopefully that works. I'm wearing working out clothes, just have no excuses. Yes, exactly. So good. They're restrictive and hard to wear when playing. Exactly, right? Like no one's forcing me to wear jeans, so why would I wear them? Right? Again, all of this sounds so matter of fact, but it's surprising to me how often we're doing things that we actually don't want to do. We're being a certain way that we don't want to be. And we do have power to change. And so like that's what really like all of this is about. Okay. So your appearance is next. So go ahead and put that to the side. So we're just getting these all started, but I want to make sure we have plenty of time to like get through all of them and talk about a few other things too. Okay. So this will be your homework. Okay. So the next piece of paper is your environment. What are you doing for your environment? So this is your office, your car, your home. It's where you spend most days. Okay. Your office, your car, your home. So what are we doing for your environment that's already working? Okay. And what do you need and want to do for your environment? Okay. So maybe for you, you need a cleaning schedule. Maybe for you, you want to pay somebody to come in once a month to do a deep clean on your house. Maybe for you, you want to enroll a laundry service. All of these things are actually more affordable than you may be telling yourself, right? We get to break up with making decisions on fake costs that we don't even know yet. One of the best advice that one of my first mentors told me is it's free to go look, right? It's free to go window shop and you may surprise yourself. There may be a mom local to you that wants some extra cash and she's like, I would totally clean your whole house for you for $50. Who would say yes to that? Right? We don't know until we try, right? And this by far, when you just lean in, right? And you try, you go ask, you go price things out. We had the plumber here last week because our water wasn't staying hot for long. And it just got to a point where it was like, plumber help, right? Like, and it wasn't that much money, right? Like, it's just like a matter of stopping and saying, okay, like, let's get the plumber in here. Let's do the thing, right? And it makes a world of a difference. We order factor meals and it's so helpful because it's just one thing that's not on my plate, right? It's nice. You are not meant to be a broke, burnt out, busy woman. Let me repeat myself. You are not meant to be a broke, burnt out, busy woman trying to just survive life. Expect more from yourself. No one in here deserves even a percentage of that feeling. Your best will look different on different days based on so many life circumstances. I heard this the other day and it was so profound, and I'll share it with you. She said, how I measure my best each day, like, did I do my best today, is making sure I don't compromise my mental health, which I loved. How often are we pushing ourselves and stuffing down our feelings, our emotions, our energy, right? Like, okay, I can do one more thing and your like eyes are closing. That's not a quality of life, right? If you can pour from your overflow in a day and you don't deplete yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, I crushed it today, it's because you only took your overflow. You didn't deplete yourself to the last drop that you're literally like falling into bed, right? Or you're like closing your eyes on your laptop or falling asleep on the couch or whatever it may be. To me, that means we are overextending our energy and we've got some energy management to do and or some task management, right? Like something's got to shift so you don't deplete yourself, because every time you deplete yourself, now we have to fill that whole bucket back up. Imagine if you could just give everyone else your overflow, but it never takes away from you. What if you only gave people your overflow and never deplete you? This is why it's so important to continue to build your overflow, because then you're never going below the overflow. You just have more than enough, more than enough. It's like the fountain that just keeps going. You're not depleting yourself. But the minute that fountain stops, we're now going to go towards a deficit, right? The minute that fountain stops, there's only so much water left. There's only so much energy left. There's only so much money left. So overflow is key. Everything that I'm helping you do is getting you in an overflow. Some people will take longer because they're at such a deficit. Okay, it's that hockey stick effect. So I would love to know from an energy standpoint, if you look at like 100%, so this is not the belief percentage, this is your energy. If you're at over 100%, I already have you in overflow. If you're under that, then we've got to get you in overflow. So what percentage do you currently feel like you're at right now, energy wise? Give me a percentage. 90%, 75%, 60%, 60, 50, 50. Okay. Tell me why you gave yourself that score, that percentage. Do we feel tired? Do we feel overwhelmed? Give me some context. Working out, okay. I overcommit to things and don't allow myself enough white space, okay. Tired and tired and tired. Feels like I can't catch up with myself, okay. Overwhelmed, homeschool, okay. A little tired, busy weekend, earning money, and overwhelmed. Okay, so our job, our mission even, is to get you in overflow. So if you're, no matter what percentage you're at right now, okay, so let me draw a little bucket here. Okay, so we'll take halfway, okay? So if you're at 50%, then we've got to get over 100%, okay? So this is where the hockey stick comes into play, because there's no way you'll have the whoosh until we're in overflow. I'll say that again. There's no way you will have the whoosh and it feel good until we're in overflow. Okay? And you have power over your energy bucket. No one is taking or adding without your consent. No one. Even when there's somebody on the road being a jerk, you don't have to respond back to them. Or you can if that supports you, right? But you have consent over everything, and can walk away, can speak up, can do whatever you need to do to protect your energy and also increase your energy. Okay, so what we want to think about is, what are all the things that you're not doing that will get you in overflow? Okay, this goes back to the energy to-do list, but I think it's important to bring back up, because all of these other categories that we're going through today are contingent on your energy. When in doubt, go back to your energy. If you ever feel stuck, if you ever feel blah, if you ever feel overwhelmed, it's your energy trying to send you a message that it needs love. It needs attention. You've got to stop and pour into yourself and not just keep going to go. Okay. So for example, as soon as I got home yesterday, I went immediately into recovery mode. I took an ice bath. I put this special lotion on my legs. I put ice sleeves on. I got a full, like, more sleep than I normally do. I took a melatonin gummy, right? Like, I did certain things that I know will support me. I feel great today. Like, my legs are a little sore, but that's to be normal. And like, the fact that I can come on here and like even like articulate words to you, I think it's huge. So we really want to see where you're at and get you back into overflow. And then once I have you in overflow, It's our job to keep you in overflow, meaning you and me. Okay. So this is where you master the hockey stick effect versus the up and down, up and down, up and down. It's because we're not mastering your energy management. If you only learn one thing from me, energy management, when you master your energy management, you can do anything. Your mind will get on board. Most people in the personal development space are talking mindset, mindset, mindset. It's too big. You've gone through trauma. You've gone through challenges, tribulations. Like, it's too big of a thing to start with. That's why most people are struggling. Energy is so much easier to start with. When we can get your energy on board, we can do anything. We can do anything, anything. It's so cool. Okay. So we want to see, what do we need to do to fill this in and do it in the 15-minute sprint. If all you did for the rest of this week was get you an overflow, you could literally accomplish so much in week 2. Okay. And then week 3, week 4, etc. This is your mission. We've got to close the gap and get you over 100%. Okay. And what's cool about this is then you can be proactive to keep you in overflow. Okay. So although I depleted a lot of energy yesterday, I already had a recovery protocol that I bounced back so fast. So it's that proactive energy. It's having protocols in place that really help you master the art of energy management. If you know going to family functions drains you, why are we continuing to do it? The minute that I stopped going to certain family functions, I felt so happy. I'm like, I don't want to go. Why should I go? I don't want to go. None of these people feel good. They're not who I would hang out in real life. Okay. I think family is who you choose to be around. It's not just because you're family by blood doesn't mean that you get my time and energy. And my kids really helped me get to that place. Before, it was being a doormat and be like, oh, sure, I'll be treated like that. Oh, sure, I'll smile and nod. But I was dying inside. And more than dying, it was draining my energy. And I was choosing to let it drain my energy. I was choosing to put myself in those situations. So it's on me. It's not on those other people. I can't control other people. I can only control me. So the minute that we stop pointing the finger at everyone else and look at ourselves of like, what can I do to protect my energy, my time? Your whole world changes. And one of my favorite affirmations is it's okay to disappoint people. Just don't disappoint yourself. It's okay to disappoint other people. I care deeply about other people's emotions and energy, but it can't be at the detriment of who I am becoming. And that's where I think we have a slippery slope, because if not everyone likes us, it can sting a little bit, right? If not everyone's down with who we are or who we're becoming, it can feel a little stretchy. It can feel a little uncomfy. But doesn't it also give you so much joy to be that person, to be that version of yourself? And so we've got to play with that and get regulated around it so you can actually be who you're meant to be. There's 2 relationships that you can never get away from: the relationship with yourself and the relationship with money. You will, for the rest of your life and even beyond your physical life here, you're stuck with you and you're stuck with money. Everyone else is just icing on the cake. Okay. So it's not selfish for you to get the best relationship with yourself and the best relationship with your money, because everyone benefits that you love from you doing so. including yourself. This is the ultimate win-win when you can really master you loving yourself and continuing to love yourself. And same thing with money. No matter who you are right now, no matter how much energy you have, no matter what's in your bank account right now, no matter what you've been through, no matter what, you can actually love yourself more right now, and you can love your money more right now. It's a choice. And when you love yourself and you love money right now, we attract the energy that we're putting out. So if we keep looking in the mirror saying, "Ugh, I don't like myself," or "I wish I was like thinner," or "I wish I had more muscle," right? It's okay to desire more from yourself, but we can't have the blah energy around it. We also get to recognize what we currently have and feel blessed and grateful for that, right? And then desire more. So there's nothing wrong with desiring or wanting more or to be better, but we get to find ways to love you now, love your money now. And that will attract more of that. There was somebody on the race that I passed, and he was running the full, and like you could tell that like he was struggling, like he was limping a little bit. And I took my AirPod out and I go, "You're almost there. Like, you've got this." And he's like, "I know, I've got it. Like, I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm going to keep going." And it was just like so inspiring to me, because he could have been blah about it, but he chose to be positive about it. And that it's always a choice, and there's no wrong decision. It's just what feels best to you. And you can change your mind too. So like if you have a moment of blahness and you're like, "Okay, that doesn't feel really good," don't shame yourself for having it. Just choose again, right? Within a 5-minute time span, you can go from feeling so blah to so good. You really can. And it's so exciting when we like see it happening, because then it's like, holy smokes. And we get to be careful of it being on outside validation. So this has got to come internal. So we want to be careful of, well, I wouldn't feel blah about my money if I had more of it. Like if you had an extra $5,000, of course, who doesn't want an extra $5,000, right? So again, it's not bad to want to desire more, but let's feel good about where you're at right now and desire more. This also helps with being an energetic match. When you're feeling blah about your money, you're then an energetic match for more blahness. So the same is true about you feeling so grateful and excited about your money. Now you're going to attract more gratitude, right? More love, more excitement, and you're an energetic match for it. This is like the woo-woo side of things, which is so huge, okay? So as we're going through all the task management stuff, the biggest, most important thing is to focus on how we can get you overflowing. Because if not, your emails are going to pile up again, right? Like, I don't want to go surface level with all of your tasks where we're just like, crossing things off. If we don't have your energy in overflow, if we don't create systems and protocols, then your tasks are going to keep piling up and it's going to keep overwhelming you. And so you understanding your capacity and what you truly have and want to have available to other people is key. You would shock yourself. Like, so if you're at a 50%, if you're at 100%, you probably can be more and do more if you wanted to. So that's why getting you an overflow and upgrading you and your energy will actually help with all of these other categories that we're working on today. So like first and foremost is always energy. So when in doubt, go back to the energy. Okay. So we talked about your appearance. We talked about your environment. Now let's go to the next category. So get a new piece of paper. Okay. So this is the fun category. So what are you doing that already is just so fun? It's lighting you up. And what do you need or want to do around fun? Okay. So I'll give you just like a minute to get that list just up and running and going. Again, we're not spending a ton of time today. That'll be your implementation. You do got this, Jess. I love that. I got this. So good. Which race are you doing? Did you decide? I love that you signed up. That just makes my heart so happy.
The queen bee.
Ooh,
Queen
fun.
bee. Yeah.
That's perfect. So good. Love it. All right, we've got that list up and running. Yes. Yep. So everyone has all their dates and times, but I'll send it again just so you have it. But tomorrow is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 to 1. Yep. All right, go ahead and get a new piece of paper. I just want to make sure we get through all of our list here. Okay. The next category, there may be some overlap with your energy. Okay. Your health category. So this is you, your health, your well-being. So what are we doing consistently that is working for you? And what do we need and want to do? So again, there might be some overlap on the energy, but we'll go deeper with that. Like maybe we haven't been to the doctors in a while. Maybe you're like, I really do want to find a diet to get on. And really a diet to me is like a meal plan, like a structure around your food. Okay, so your health and your well-being. I'll give you like a minute to get that list started. Okay, thank you for letting me know. But yeah, you guys get an implementation sprint tomorrow. I'll double check on my end. I might have not included it, but you do get one. Are you okay, sis? You want to come in here? You want cuddles? All right, next category. Everyone ready to start your next piece of paper? Again, we're just getting these started. I don't expect you to have a massive list. I just want to get them prepped for you. All right, the next category is romance. This doesn't have to be just with one person, like another person. It can be, but this is also like you dating yourself, okay? So romance. What are you doing that's working and what do you need and want to do? So you're married, right, Dana? Yeah, okay. So you can focus on you and obviously your significant other. So are you guys going on date nights, right? Do we have like solid communication? Like, do we have a sit down check-in that's more like husband and wife stuff versus like the romantic? Like that stuff still does matter, right? Like, are we having sex, right? Like, are we not? So think about all the facets of an intimate, healthy relationship. And what are we doing that's working? And what do we need and want to do? I hope that helps. I see this category being a struggle for a lot of women that I work with because you're growing and thriving. And sometimes the significant other can be like, what is happening? Like this human is like so different, right? Like the personal development space is still like this underground world that a lot of people aren't experiencing. So when you're like talking positive and like, it's going to be the most wealthy day, and your significant other could be like, what is going on, right? Not always, right? But most people don't love their job. Most people don't love their life. Most people don't love their relationship with money. And they're not doing anything about any of these things. So when we're the odd people, right? And we're drinking the Kool-Aid, but the other person isn't drinking the Kool-Aid, it can feel very odd to that person. It's like going to the most epic concert and coming back and like telling your significant other about it. And they're like, cool. And you're like, but I need you to get as excited as I am. They're like, but I wasn't there. Right. And so we're expecting something unrealistic from our other person. And then that typically trips us up. And we're like, oh, okay, I call it turtling. You like start to turtle and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna show my excitement anymore. Right. Seriously, you're laughing because you know you've done it. I've done it. Right. And it's a trigger that we feel uncomfortable. And then we start to turtle and reduce our excitement versus allowing the other person to have their experience, but we still can have our own experience, right? This was a game changer for me in my relationship where I just allowed my partner to have their own experience, but then not alter my experience. I'm my own human. Like I deserve to have the experiences that I want. Is it hard to leave for trips? Yes. Like it even felt challenging to leave yesterday for a whole day of running, but it's important to me. Even to like get childcare can feel uncomfortable, but it's important to me, right? So it's just so important that we don't stop ourselves from living our best life out of worry about someone else's thoughts about it, right? And I do believe that there's ways to co-create. I do believe that there's ways to have win-win and merge each other's visions together. But sometimes there's going to be moments where they're at a standstill and you're having your own experience, and that's okay. Don't force the other person to try to get on your level. They're going to do their own thing in their own timing. And what I have found to be so powerful is osmosis is actually the most powerful. By you just shifting your way of being will shift your home, will shift your relationship with your partner. Not what we say, but our being will inspire them. Like, have you ever hung around somebody that's getting healthy and you're like, I kind of want to get healthy, right? Even if it's not your partner. Who we surround ourselves with is the sum of who we are. So it can work oppositely. Okay. If you're the trailblazer in your relationship, the other person will eventually get on board. And if not, maybe then that's an opportunity for you to like work on that of like, okay, if we're not on board, then we'll figure that out of what's best for everyone. But we want to be our best version of ourselves no matter what. You deserve to meet your best version of yourself. Do you believe that? And not even meet, but be your best version of yourself. Drop a yes in the chat. You're like, yes, I believe I deserve that. This is when you actually can create authentic relationships. If you're not being your most authentic, best self, you're actually out of alignment, not only with yourself, but everyone around you. If they don't know the real you, how can they really love you? I lost 2 big relationships last year, but it was because I was being my best authentic self. And there was a grieving period. And it does still bring me sadness at times. But I could not keep going on the trajectory of trying to pretend to be somebody that I'm not, or make decisions that I don't want to make out of the sake of somebody liking me or not liking me. And this is the power of all of this work of you can actually create the most delicious, authentic, real life when you're really being yourself. And you're being yourself more and more and more and more. And being at peace if everyone's not down with that. Because most people, it feels uncomfortable because it's triggering to them. That you're so comfortable being authentically you that like hurt people. And sometimes for some people, it can be really triggering. Or if they were used to a certain version of yourself and then you completely change, it almost creates whiplash of, oh my gosh, you're a whole different person, but it's actually really you, right? And so this is what's so powerful, that you can be at peace no matter what happens in your outside world, because you know you're truly being yourself. That alone will create so much peace, because you're making decisions out of your most authentic, real, wealthy self, and knowing that everything around you and everyone around you is there because they authentically like you. And focusing on that versus the people that don't is truly priceless. Like it's a gift. It's the best gift ever. I'm learning to release a lot of family relationships that are actually super toxic and draining. Exactly. That's weighing down your energy bucket. It's huge. Being around them is so hard, and to be authentic because they know what to say to trigger the brainwashing. Oh, I see you. I see you. This happened so much when I got sober. Oh my gosh, I see you. Feeling that I lost a friend of 30 years a few years back because I was becoming authentically me. People come into your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. Not everyone's going to get the lifetime category, and that's actually a good thing. Those people get to be so special to you and love the crap out of you, and then learn from the people that are a season. Learn from the people that are for a reason, right? And just be at peace with every category and not hold on so tightly. That's been the big thing that I've had to work on, is not hold on so tightly to every single one trying to be in the lifetime category, because that's going to be the smallest amount of people that are in the lifetime category. And we want to make sure that those relationships are so pure and we like protect those at all costs, and just allow the other ones to flow and go how they're supposed to. And some people come in and out, and you know, as long as that's okay and that feels good to you, that's cool too. Like I recently saw a girlfriend for coffee, and we haven't seen each other in years. And have you ever had that person where you just feel like you can like pick back up? And there was never a reason why we didn't hang out. It's just life and kids and pandemic and all of the things. And we had the best time. And I was like, hey, let's see each other before Christmas. She's like, I would love to, right? And so, you know, it's just allowing everything to flow and go in a way that feels good to you. And trust that those things are going to continue to flow and go as long as we're always coming from a place of feeling good, right? Feeling good gets to be a normal thing. And us being proactive about it is how it can and will be a normal thing. Okay. All right. The next category on that note is friends and family. I put these together because I believe, like I said, your friends can be your family and vice versa. Your family can be your friends. You can choose your family. So what are you doing that is feeling really good, that's working? And then what do you need or want to do in the friend category? This could be like, oh my gosh, let me set a date with this person for coffee, or a play date, right? Like Emma has a play date tomorrow and she's so excited about it. So that like makes my soul so happy. Okay. So friends and family, maybe you want to have a family outing every quarter. And you're like, that would feel so fun for us all to have something to like look forward to, or family movie night and we have popcorn, right? So those are things that we want to like be proactive about the friends and family to-do list. Okay. So really what we're doing in this task management process is we're zooming out and looking at all pieces and parts of you that could create ideas for us, right? Like there might be things that are not on your to-do list that as we're going through these categories need your time and attention. my goal for you is to get you out of reactive mode and get you into proactive energy and really think about all of these categories. If we don't put dates on the calendar for date night, it's most likely not going to happen. Or we're going to spend so much time and energy being like, oh, we should go on a date night. We should go on a date night, and we should. And then a year later, we finally do. We burned so much energy just saying should, and not 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a date night every third Saturday, right? Boom. Systematized protocol. We make it happen. That's really what I'm working on with you. Okay. All right. The next section is your creativity. Okay. So this can be creating offers. This can be creating content. This can be painting, playing the piano, putting outfits together. This can be making things, making food, making clothes, making headbands. This, like, whatever just lights your soul on fire that you use with your hands. Okay. So anything creative is like your mind and your hands, right? It's like maybe you love a garden and you're like, oh my gosh, I love my garden, or I love playing the piano, or I love, maybe for you, you love cleaning and organizing, right? It makes you feel happy. It makes you feel creative. Maybe for you, you love playing the guitar. So this is like you using your mind and your hands and your heart, truly. So think about your creative list of what are you doing from a creative standpoint that lights your soul on fire, and then what do you need and want to do? Everyone is going to get the replay too, just in case you've missed something, you can always go back. Alrighty, we have a few more, so let's get to the next list. Okay, so the next category is your faith and your spirituality. So this will mean different things for different people, but really it's time alone to connect to a higher power or yourself, okay, to the universe, God, source, whatever feels good to you, whatever you believe in. So think about things that you're doing that are working for you. So this could be like praying. This could be reading the Bible. This could be going to church. This could be meditating. This could be just grounding. Like, so you're like literally just like standing and connecting with nature type of thing. And then what do you need and want to do for this category? This is your faith and spirituality category. Maybe you're like, you just want to like discover what your faith is, right? Like maybe you want to try out different faiths. Yeah, you're welcome. I'll give you like a minute to get that list fired up. So my goal for you as you're getting that list fired up is then to take all of these categories and lay them out on a table. This is like one of my favorite things to do, because you really get to zoom out and look at you, but on pieces of paper in categories, right? So when you have all 12 laid out, you'll see which ones you're naturally crushing. And no wonder they feel really good. And you'll see the areas of your life that you're like, yeah, that category needs a lot more love. But all of these categories will help you get an overflow. Don't you feel better after you like leave dinner with a girlfriend and you're like, that was so good, right? Like, or you clean up your home because it was just like a little messy, or you get rid of things. All of these categories are affecting you and your energy bucket. So my goal for you is to make this so clear as day that when you lay out all the pieces of paper, the ones that you're doing and you're doing like they feel so simple and they're filled up, they're helping with the percentage that you're already at. Now, for sure, when we do more in that category, it will help. But where you'll get the most bang for your buck is looking at the categories that are not getting like any attention or very little attention, when we pour a little bit more into those, your energy will skyrocket. I can go for a walk and be in the most blah mood. And by the time the walk is done, I feel like I can do anything. It's happened to me so many times, to the point now where it's laughable. I'm like, I have some blah energy. I'm a little tired, but I know I'll go outside. I'll put my AirPods in. I'll go for a 20-minute walk, and I feel like I can do anything after that walk. So this is really what we're looking for. Before I did my 10,000 steps a day, I didn't know that, right? Like, I've always been an active person, but when you go to the next level and you do something more, it anchors everything in just so much more for you. Okay. So as you're looking at all of these pieces of paper and filling them out before our implementation, it will be very, very clear which one needs the most amount of your time. My goal for you is you come to the implementation session tomorrow, and you work on that one. Because again, it will just skyrocket all of the other ones and skyrocket your energy. Okay. All right. So faith and spirituality. Now let's move on to contribution. So contribution can be traditional, donating to a charity, volunteering for a charity. It can be giving on social media. It can be giving physical goods to a nonprofit. It can be spreading kindness to strangers. It can be whatever you want your contribution to be. Maybe there's things that you want to do with your kids, right? Or your significant other. So contribution is endless. It can be anything that fills up your heart and your soul. It's built legacy, right? It's really contributing in a way that you desire for this world to be a better place. And that can be time, it can be energy, it can be money, it can be resources, all of the above. But too often people are like, well, I'll start giving when I have more money. We can give more now. We truly can. Like, you can give more energy, more time, more compliments, right? So I really want us to step into that giving and contribution energy so much more, no matter where you're at right now, and come from an abundant standpoint. Now, it may not be the best decision for you to write $100,000 check right now, but that's not the only way you can contribute. So us really meeting yourself where you're at is huge, so we can do more of what you're desiring. So eventually, maybe you want to write a check to a charity for $100,000. Can we do $100? Right? Can we do 10? Your brain doesn't know different amounts. It only knows energy. So if you write a check for $10, but you act as if it's $100,000, your brain's going to be like, wow, we just made a contribution, right? We just did something really impactful, really big. Maybe like a few years ago, we collected coats for kids, and all of these people were like sending me money. I went to like TJ Maxx. I was buying all of these coats. I gave them to a charity. Like, it felt so good. Did I have enough resources to like give every kid in the United States a coat? No, but hopefully the kids that we were able to, it made their journey a little bit better, right? So we get to be careful of that like all or nothing mindset of like something is better than nothing, right? And then that something will turn into bigger things, and bigger things will turn into bigger things. So it's like getting the party started in every category is key, and then we just keep building from there. So I want you to think about, from a contribution standpoint, what's already working, what do you already love that you're doing more than you're not doing it, and then think about what you need and want to do in this category. Does that make sense? Okay, we've got 2 more left. We're doing great. Okay, 2 more left. And I'll repeat all the categories at the very end, so you can like just make sure you've got everything on your end. Okay. All right. So second to last category is your time. Your time. And truly what I mean by this is your energy and relationship around time. We will always want more time. We will. But I want you to get clear on what's working for you. So for example, I wear my Apple Watch no matter what every single day. This helps me manage my time so much. Alarms help me manage my time so much. Google Calendar helps me manage my time so much. Having a main priority for the week helps me manage my time so much. So we want to think about your relationship with time and what is working. And then we want to think about what you need and want to add. So maybe you want to buy an Apple Watch. Maybe you want to get your Google Calendar all organized, or maybe you want to have clipboards with checklists, right? Like, what do you feel like will help you manage your time better? That's very, very specific. Okay. I'll give you a minute to fire up that list. Okay. Pull out the next piece of paper, last but certainly not least. Similar to time, your relationship with money. So not how much money you have or don't have, but your current relationship with money. What's working? Okay. And what do you need and want to do that you know would really support you? So for example, my savings binder helps me so much. My carrying cash around helps me so much. Doing a wealthy Wednesday check-in every Wednesday of like, how's everything going? Where am I at based on my goals? Helps me so much. Jared and I talk about finances every single week, no matter what. That helps us so much. We're already buying Christmas presents so we can spread out everything, not only from a money standpoint, but from a stress standpoint. So he like already started the process. He showed me last night. I'm like, yes, 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 I love that. So it's again, it's that proactive energy. Us a few years ago didn't do that, right? Like that's the cool part about this process is like you just get better and better and better because you get more proactive. And when you feel how good it feels to be ahead, you never want to go back, right? I do automatic transfers for savings and even bills. So that way I'm never behind. I'm always ahead. The more we can get you ahead in every category of your life will literally bring so much money your way. That proactive energy is so juicy, so amazing. And it's a game changer. Okay. Maybe you want to read more money books or listen to more money podcasts, or maybe you want to hire a financial advisor. Maybe you want to learn more about the stock market because it really intimidates you. That was me at one point. I'm like, I don't understand this. It's very complicated. And now I don't feel that way. I'm so educated around the stock market and it feels so good to like have that understanding, right? So we're never at a lack of knowledge. We're at a lack of effort. Really, like there is so much knowledge out there. When you go look for it, it's amazing. But it's like making the effort is the big deal, and sticking with it is the big deal, right? Which is great because guess what? We're all here to put in the energy and effort. So there's nothing that's stopping you. It's just a matter of time before you create what you desire. And that within itself is like such a vibe that is so good, right? Like if you know it's just a matter of time because you know that you're not going to give up. We've already decided that. You know that you're willing to put in the energy and effort. You can do anything. You can do anything. It doesn't have to make sense in this current reality. Passion moves mountains. Energy moves mountains. It's not always going to make sense with how it's going to happen, but you putting in the proper energy and effort will make anything happen. It's just a matter of time. Who believes that? Like, what percentage of you believes that? Give me a percentage in the chat. 90%. Okay, good. 100%. 100. Yay. Justine, you weren't on the call yet, but I was bragging that you were cheering for me in the grocery store. All right, so we're all about like 90% or above. I'll take that. I'll take that. It made my day. So good. Have you ever had a physical relationship with somebody that was like a little bumpy, but both of you wanted it to work so much and it's like so good now? Drop a yes in the chat if you have a relationship with like that. Like it was bumpy and like it was touch and go there, but like you both were committed and like you've worked on it. And maybe that's your relationship with yourself, right? Or somebody else, but like a physical relationship where it was bumpy, but you kept persevering and like working on it to happen. Drop a yes in the chat if you're like, oh yeah, I've got one of those. Like the relationship mattered to you so much that you wanted to work on it and not walk away, right? That gets to be how we treat money, because we can't actually walk away from money. So it's actually we can't walk away from ourselves and we can't walk away from money. And so us making it the best relationship ever is huge. Now, the more you fall in love with yourself, the more you'll fall in love with money. So if you're still having a lot of resistance around money, I just don't want you to worry about it. I want you to focus on you, because the more we build you up, the more overflow we get you in, your money relationship will become better. It absolutely will, because you're upgrading you. And as you upgrade you, you'll make different, better decisions. And therefore your relationship with money will get better. So if you're in that category right now, just focus on you. Your relationship with money will get better. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. Okay. So with that being said, there is one more category that I want you to work on for your homework, and it's a backlog of tasks. Okay. It may come from some of these categories, but more likely than not, there's some things that we need to clear up. There's some things that we need to finish, and it's weighing you down. So this can be things that were on other lists, but I do want you to get a collection of things that are behind. I don't even love the word behind, but for the sake of this exercise, it's things that you're like, this is weighing me down. I've got to get this done. Maybe this is client work that is being delayed. This could be your email and it's so backed up, right? It needs a plumber. It needs a plumber to come in, right? Maybe your house is it's beyond just a quick cleanup. And you're like, this is bad. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't love it. Okay. So some of these might come from some of these categories, but I do want you to get a collection of them on one piece of paper of a backlog, because this is huge. When we can clear the clogs, you will literally skyrocket your energy. Have you ever released a relationship in your life that was weighing you down and you were dreading the conversation, but it's like ripping the Band-Aid off. And when you like got through it and walked away, didn't your energy skyrocket? We carry around this invisible weight, right? And it's affecting every aspect of your life and your future life. And so us clearing the way, and then of course from there creating systems and protocols and structure will help so we don't have another backlog, right? But most likely we need to clear the backlog for us to even get to the good stuff, right? Get to the sexy stuff, get to the like really, really awesome stuff. And you can make all of this fun. Okay. So give me something on your backlog list that you know you need to do. Give me something on your list. Okay. Fix credit, declutter my stuff. Okay. Get back to the gym, declutter the office. How long has this thing been on your list? And be honest. You can even just private message it to me if you're like, I don't even want anyone else to know this. How long has this thing been weighing on you? Since March? 8 months, 6 years, How long? Tell me. Who else? Been in progress for a long time. Ooh. Okay. If I called you up today and said, if you get this done in the next 30 days, I'll write you a check for $1 million. Would you do it? Whatever that thing is. Most people would be like, I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but I'll make it happen, right? I am not missing that $1 million check. That's your future self calling, not me. Okay. This is what I call your wealthy Achilles heel. It's the big boulder stopping you from this thing. Okay. From your wealthiest life. And so we've got to get your attention of like, do this thing and you're going to get $1 million, right? It's that guaranteed. Because without us moving the boulder, we can't see the blessings that are on the other side, right? So us clearing the way is how you will literally be able to do so many of the big goals and dreams that you want. Like there's no way that I could run a full marathon if I would have not done the other things that I was doing, right? Like it cleared the way so that way I could actually accomplish a big goal like that, okay? So the big boulder is the way. Us decluttering your home is huge. Us working on your health and fitness and getting back to the gym and staying at the gym is huge. Going out with your husband, you haven't gone out with your husband in years. Okay, let's do it. Right? Like all of these things will skyrocket your energy so much. Okay. So for tomorrow, for the implementation sprint, my recommendation is focus on the backlog and the lowest category, slightly parallel to both of those. Like, so your backlog might have a lot of the environment stuff on it, and that was your lowest one. But I really want you to focus on the backlog more than anything else. And then yes, we get that lower hanging or that lower category, we get it up. Okay. We can't donate our children. I'm sorry. I think that's frowned upon. But we can work on us becoming better. Okay. I will say my whole family dynamic has shifted the more I've poured into myself. Like it shocks me still at times where I'm like, oh my gosh, like so much feels so good. And it's because of me. Like it's not just because of me, but I'm a big part of it. Right. And I'm like really embracing that and owning that. And I think that it's just huge, right? Like we are the change agent of our life, right? We're the trailblazer. We're the one knocking down the boulder and any other boulders and any other obstacles and anything that we know that we need to do. Okay. All right. Let me look here at my list. Any questions so far? I know we're getting towards the end of our workshop. So your homework in between now and the implementation sprint is to fill out all of those lists. There's no way we had enough time for you to like sit and think. So just take some time if you can. If you have to hide in the bathroom, fantastic. If you like whatever you got to do, fill out those lists and then get really clear on which ones are the lower ones, what's on the backlog, because that becomes one of our first focuses in here, is really clearing the way for everything that you desire. Okay. What questions do you have for me? Was this helpful? Okay, sweet. Yay. All right. I'm trying to think what else I want to tell you today. What's our belief percentage at? So you believing you can create your happiest, healthiest, wealthiest life, like millions and millions of dollars, accomplishing all the big goals that you've always wanted. What percentage are we at? 95%, 75%? 101, 80, still in the 90%, but that is up from 80%. Yes, we're making progress. 5%, 100%. Yes. Oh my gosh. All of these are so high. It makes me so happy. I promise you, come to the implementation sprint tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll make sure you have all the reminders, the link, everything. Your percentage will go up when we're clearing the capacity. I promise you. Come ready to go. Get that list ready to go. It will increase tomorrow. Because when we don't believe we have the capacity for more, we will self-sabotage. We will. We're so burnt out, so tired. Our home is already stuffed. Our to-do list is already stuffed. Even when your heart desires more, your brain and subconscious go, there's no way. So the minute we start clearing the way and keep clearing the way, right? Then your brain goes, I think we've got this. I think we have the capacity. And then that's when the flood of blessings come in. Come in. You're up to 7. Oh my gosh, you've been so unstoppable. Everyone has. It's so good. We were at a 70%. We're at a 90%. Oh, girlfriend, come to the implementation sprint tomorrow. We'll get that up even more. I appreciate you guys trusting this process. I know that this will radically bless your life forever. And I just appreciate you trusting the process. And I welcome resistance. If you're resistant, that's okay. I don't want you to pretend that you're at 100%. I just always need you to even if you're resistant, I need you to come. I need you to do the work. I need us to work through the resistance. We find ways to make it fun. Okay. So I don't want anyone to pretend. I don't want anyone to feel like they can't share their feelings or anything like that. That's never my goal. My goal is you show up. When you show up, we can make things happen. And so I just appreciate you showing up and hope that you'll continue to do so. So we'll end a little bit early because who doesn't love just like a little break? So feel free to keep going, write those lists out. Again, I'll make sure that you've got reminders for tomorrow, but just block off the time. If for whatever reason you can't be live, commit to doing your own sprint. Okay. Typically we don't record implementation sprints because there's not we're doing things, but I'll record tomorrow so you can see it. But commit to doing the work. If you can't come the whole time, come for what you can. Okay. But you get to experience doing the work and not doing it alone. So a lot of people call this body doubling. You will do so much more. It's so powerful to me when we can do this. Okay. So I'll make sure you have reminders. I don't see any more questions. Tomorrow is 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's doing. So we do 15-minute sprints. I put a timer on the clock and then you do the thing. I check in and then we reset. Okay. So it's like a workout for you, but I'm not going to make you do jumping jacks. And then we always end with motivation that makes it super powerful. So super, super excited. Okay. Any questions? Nope. You guys are ready to do the work? Awesome. Yay. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right. I'll make sure you guys get all the reminders and then we'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.